Hi, I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Rihanna, and welcome back to Fresh Off the Broke.
Fresh Off the Broke is about personal experiences growing up Asian American in a predominantly white community, Asian media, and Asian pop culture in general. Race has always been a sensitive topic. Every day there are debates over race. With our podcast, we intend to shed light on the experiences of first-generation Asian immigrants, not put them on a pedestal.
We understand that race isn't everything, but there should be an acknowledgement of people of color, the knowledge gap, and the racial divide that will ideally be broken. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into the episode. Today we're going to be discussing rich fobs versus first gen kids. That's kind of hard to say.
Very controversial topic.
Very.
Okay, do you want to explain what we mean when we say fob versus first gen?
So, I'm sure people know what fob means, considering, our name is a play off of the word fob. Or not the word,
Acronym.
Yes, that. But first gen is basically us. So children of immigrants, yeah. I guess, right?
Well, yeah, I guess it's more of your parents, or I guess the family, they immigrated, and then they had a kid, and then that kid's the first one to really live in the country.
Yeah. Like first generation Canadian, which is us. We were born here.
And so when we say fob, I know that when we first introduced the meaning behind our name, how we say that we are trying to defy the stereotype that fobs we're trying to defy the whole stereotype that all fobs are rich, because not all immigrants are rich.
Mm-hmm.
A little mini disclaimer. But right now we're more exploring the rich fobs versus the first, and the type of, and the cultural difference.
Mm-hmm. Like, we're fresh off the broke.
They're fresh off the bank. Fresh out of the bank.
We should change the term fob, just so that.
Fresh out of the bank?
Yes. So we can finally copyright fresh off the broke, you know?
Yeah.
Okay,
I swear to God, if someone listening to this decides to copyright it before we do, I will actually go and fight you.
Two Asian girls will fight you.
Yeah. Square up.
Well, there are a lot of differences. Besides financial status, there's a lot of differences in upbringing between first-gen kids and fobs.
Yeah, I agree. For example, there's the language barrier, especially if the fobs are have recently immigrated, and they go to, I don't know, at least what I'm thinking of right now, I'm thinking of when fobs moved to predominantly Asian communities. I'll offer a different example after. But when they move into I don't know why I was going to say Chinese, but a predominantly Asian school, you'll have the Asians that know English and the Asians that don't know English. And I find that when you have fobs that don't know English, and then they're surrounded with Asian kids that do know English, there tends to be a different version of the Asian bubble, because since everyone at the school is Asian, it's more all the kids that can speak this one language hang out together, and then all the kids that can speak this other language hang out together, because they have difficulty communicating. And since it's kind of intimidating to speak English to people that you're not close with, especially if you're not familiar with the language, you'd rather speak your quote unquote broken English with your friends, because it's less of a, I'm not going to say hassle, but it's less of a burden, and it's not as. And then when you go to a white school, then it's more of just an Asian bubble, where all the fobs and all the Asians, they hang out together because there's more of a community there.
Mm-hmm.
But then it creates this thing where people think that fobs think that they're better than non-fobs. I mean, there are fobs that think that way. I've met fobs that think that way. Not gonna call them out right now. That's not what this is about. But sometimes it creates this feeling that they think that they're above non-fobs, but sometimes it's just because they're too scared to talk to you.
True.
What about you? What do you think?
Well, I don't have a lot of experience with rich fobs, but I do have experience with what we call a subcategory of first generation kids, also known as hood Asians, for lack of a better term. Because where I grew up, um, it's not actually like this. Well, it's not actually the ghetto or the hood, but everyone considers it to be the city's hood or the ghetto.
Hmm.
Well, there are parts of our city that are actually could be considered the ghetto, or the hood. But for some reason, whenever I tell people that, oh, I'm from this place, they're like, oh, you're from there? Like, I didn't expect you to be from there?
Yeah, and then there's the whole stereotype around the hood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of an umbrella term that people tend to use to describe. I don't know. I think it comes from pop culture or the media where people, when they think of the hood, they just think of gang.
Yeah.
They think of black people,
Mm.
which is untrue. It's a stereotype because of I don't know, systemic poverty.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what else can you
Systemic.
say about it? It's true. But the kids here are pretty much like me. Well, most of the kids here are pretty much like me. It's just first gen Filipino kids, pretty much. And Filipino kids, hood Asians, basically. Like
Yeah.
speaking in slang. Oh God, just wastemans, basically. That's what. That's how I'll describe them. But all these kids are first generation kids, and they're completely different from, rich fobs.
Hmm.
But what else can I say about them? Oh, well, from what I've seen, there's like two different types of um, hood Asian kids. There's a type of kids that completely throw away their culture and just, the type of kids who get perms. Not I'm not bashing perms, but like some kids, they get curly perms just because they want to look light skinned.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then like they wear do-rags or whatever, but it's like, bro, you're Asian.
You don't have
That's
wings.
exactly like, why are you wearing that? And then they speak in completely slang. Oh, oh, oh. Well, I'm
Bleep
gonna
it out, bleep it out, bleep it out.
I'm gonna bleep that out. Oops. Not trying to expose my location here, but I just did. So,
Underage. Tag us.
Jesus. Okay. But yeah, they speak in a certain slang, I mean. And they try to like, instead of embracing their own culture, they try to make their own culture. It's hard to describe it without saying the actual term for it, but I don't want to expose my location, so whatever. And then the second type of hood Asian are the kids that actually keep their culture, like, the Filipino first gen kids that are playing basketball together, they're all speaking Tagalog or Ilocano, whatever their dialect is. And usually they all hang out together.
No, I was gonna say that sometimes I see a lot of girls, they post Filipino pride, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. It's either those types of girls or the types of girls who, do their edges, lashes up to their eyebrows. Oh God. And they're Filipino. Like, they're Filipino. Why are you doing your edges? I don't.
And then they say the N-word.
Yeah, of course. Which we do not associate with those people at all.
This isn't one of the things I remember. I saw a post or I saw someone say something. I can't properly credit this because I don't remember what they said word for word, and I'm not gonna put a picture up because I don't remember the source. Okay. But they said along the lines of not saying that we don't accept them or like they're not part of us. You know when the Vietnamese cop that was part of the George Floyd incident, well, George Floyd murder. They were saying how some people were saying, "Oh, he's not part of us. We don't accept him." But the thing is, they were saying how, rather than not accepting him, you should say that we acknowledge that this is an issue within our community, and then, I don't know, more expose it and address it rather than say, "Oh, we don't take him in."
Yeah, I agree. It's pretty problematic for me to say like we don't accept them or we don't associate with them because they are Filipino. I can't not say that they're not Filipino, but it's just I don't know.
Me trying to call you out and cancel you. That's
she canceled me.
Please leave this part in. This part's kind of funny. No, but yeah, I don't have Snapchat, but I know that on Snapchat a lot of people like making lip sync videos. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? Where they, I don't know, it's like a selfie, except why do I sound like someone that doesn't understand social media? But like a video. And then they're lip syncing the songs, and a lot of people, a lot of non-Black people, they say the N-word when they're singing along.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yes, I have. Sadly. It's just okay, disclaimer. I don't think there's a problem with the quote hood Asian unquote aesthetic. Like, I guess there are problematic parts to like, you know, doing edges and taking aspects of Black culture and making them your own and saying the N-word. Obviously, those are not good at all. But, you know, the kids who are just, not the hood kids, but like the kids with the hood aesthetic. Like the kids who, like, my aesthetic is tube tops and ripped jeans and matching hoodies with my track pants. Like, that aesthetic is completely fine. Like, if that's the way you want to talk, if that's the way you want to dress yourself, if that's the way you want to act, that's fine. But once you start doing the problematic parts of that, it's not fine anymore.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's kind of similar to how there's a lot of Asian hip hop artists that actually respect the Black community, and they don't just appropriate the culture and then not care when things are happening in the Black community. There's people, I'm just thinking of Bohan Phoenix and like China Mac, but I think there is a difference between appreciation and appropriation.
Yeah.
Do you know any problematic hood Asians?
Yes. I live around them.
Because I don't have much to say because I grew up in a very white neighborhood.
You grew up in a neighborhood where the white kids want to be hood.
Yes. I can share a little tidbit about that, or a tangent. I don't want to distract from the whole Asian part of this. But yeah, the both of us went to very, very white schools, but we live in different neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Growing up, there were a lot of white kids that would try to pretend that they were Black, but then the thing is, they're actually racist. They're not they're not appreciating the culture. They just think that way they look cool and hard and
yeah, no, like,
I can't even.
Why do you want to act like you're from the hood? Like, you want to act all this, whatever you want to be. You think you're tough. You're speaking in a slang, like a certain slang, and then you go home to your 3-story house? I don't know, a 2-car garage? Like, bro. to your
Yeah.
happy, loving, full house of. Okay, I'm not gonna continue.
And also, I'm not gonna say it, but a lot of the kids, they came up with this weird censored version of the N-word where they changed the G to a B so that it was quote unquote acceptable to say it. I'm sure you've seen it too. But that was their way of saying the N-word without saying the N-word. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the thing is, going back to what I said, they were actually racist, and I don't mean just racist to Black people. They were just racist to anyone that wasn't white. And this isn't. Disclaimer: not all white people, but just this was my school. This is my neighborhood. A lot of them, they were just racist in general, but then they wanted to seem like they were Black, or they wanted to seem like they were Asian just because certain things were popular. For example, when K-pop started getting popular, there were some white girls I knew, and they were totally racist to Asians, but then because it was trendy, they started wanting to seem like they were Asian.
Oh my god.
Or white kids that were always racist to Black people, and then because hip hop, well, I can't say hip hop recently became popular, but because of hip hop culture, they wanted to seem Black just because it would be cool, even though they're racist to Black people.
Mm. Yeah. Personally, well, we both of us did go to pretty white schools, but I also, when I was younger, I went to a Catholic school, which is mostly Filipino kids, basically. Filipino and Black kids. Like, there's not a lot of white kids that, well, I don't know if that changed, but back then it was like that. And here, like, maybe it was just because we were super young, but it wasn't really racism. It was more of like minorities coming together and making their own community, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I went to a mostly white school, I noticed like a lot of the kids, the white boys, would say all these racist things. And then once we got older, all of a sudden they started listening to like rap, and now they want to wear do-rags and what? Like, it's crazy to watch all this happen. It's like, you just swore at a Black kid the other day. Why are you all of a sudden like changing up your whole demeanor, you know?
No, I totally agree. We've mentioned this before, but you can't pick and choose what you like about a certain culture. You can't be racist to them, but also, wow, I love that type of hairstyle.
Yeah. Like, it's straight up just them trying to take the cultural aspects for themselves without the actual people of the culture.
No, I totally agree. I remember, I want to say it was a year ago. There was a influencer that was going around because I forget who. We both ranted about this, but there was this girl that photoshopped her eyes so that they were monolid.
Oh yeah.
And so then she would look Asian and they would be slanted. You might be thinking of a different influencer than what I'm talking about right now, but
there's multiple.
Yeah. Okay, I found the text that we exchanged when we were ranting about her. But yeah, I know we've touched on this in many episodes, but I just don't understand what's the point of being racist to a certain culture and then taking things from their culture because you think that's cool. And I remember there was this thing that I said something along the lines of when you want to look like a certain race but you don't want the racism that comes along with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just a frustrating thing.
It's just like white people can get away with it because in this society, they're basically the ones that rule everything.
No, yeah, have nothing to say about that.
Yeah, so we can call them out and whatever, but amongst themselves, it's just going to be like, oh, you did that. Unless we have allies, white allies, which there are more coming to light now. But yeah, the situation is pretty bad, and everyone just gets away with being a culture vulture at this point.
No, yeah, I agree. This is something along the lines of what you said about amongst themselves. There was this Facebook post that someone exposed where it was an older white woman who was going to go to a Halloween party and she did blackface. And her daughter said, "Wait, mom, you can't do that." That was something she commented under the post. Either that or it was iMessage. And then her mom said, "No, sweetie, don't worry. There aren't going to be any black people at that party."
Oh my god.
Don't worry. No one's going to be there to be offended.
Yikes.
No one's going to be there to call me out, so it's fine. Don't worry, honey.
Bro. I mean, at least the daughter was, like, kind of woke about it.
Yeah, I don't know how the thing got out, but it was probably the daughter exposing her mom on the internet.
Yeah. I mean, it's
get a hold of that.
It's a good thing that the internet, well, there are good parts to this and bad parts to cancel culture.
Mm-hmm.
But when it does work for the right reasons, it's very helpful.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Yeah.
It just gets a little iffy when it comes to celebrities because some people they already don't like the celebrities, so they're looking for excuses to cancel them. When it's a quote unquote normal person, or a better way to say it, a non-celebrity, people are canceling them and exposing them for the bad actions, not just because I hated Justin Bieber anyway, so let's cancel him.
Yeah.
By the way, that is not a reference to any controversy surrounding Justin Bieber. I have not been following Justin Bieber. So if anything is going on with Justin Bieber, don't come after me because I don't know if he's in any controversies or not right now.
I mean, he just looking homeless on his own, but it's an aesthetic. Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes are following that aesthetic too, so.
Oh my god. No comment.
Just kidding.
No comment.
But yeah. Oh, we should probably insert a nice meme that people.
What I think.
Yes. Basically, okay, you know what I'll put Fob versus Hood Asian girls.
Yeah.
Because that's basically what this is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how people see us.
Okay. You wanna...
Oh, disclaimer! I do not wear my hair like that. Obviously, it's cultural appropriation. It's just the stereotype of a hood Asian girl wanting to be black, which I do not. I am happy with my culture and I appreciate black culture as well. But I would not appropriate a culture, nor would I dress myself like that. But I did have red hair. But that was more of a edgy teenager going into high school phase.
No, I guess there's another disclaimer. I'm not a fob.
Yeah.
The reason why this is an inside joke between us is because we both grew up in very different neighborhoods. I mean, my neighborhood doesn't have anything to do with the way I dress. My aesthetic is just more like the girl on the left.
Yeah. I feel like it's my personality is more like the girl on the right.
Yeah, Rihanna looks nothing like that girl. I think it's just the red hair. I don't know. I was actually the one that sent this meme to her.
Why?
People don't know what we look like, so this is kind of funny.
No, I don't look like her. Please.
I mean, I don't look like Sunny from SNSD either.
But like,
take that as you will, guys.
Look at the girl on the right. She looks the farthest from any of us. I mean,
I think this is gonna be my favorite part of this episode.
a lot of generalizations can be made about the girl on the right.
Yes. One that cannot be made is that Rihanna looks like her. Rihanna does not.
She probably has an aggressive personality, which me too, sometimes. I get mad easy. But yeah. This meme is us. It's not actually us, but it is
so
us.
funny, but it's just
the two energies of the photo.
Yeah. I probably have a photo of me looking like that, to be honest.
I probably have a photo of me looking like that also. And not sunny.
Right?
Yes. But not the hair.
Or the tattoos.
No, I want tattoos though. Okay, that's a whole nother story.
Hey, but if you listen to the Chinese culture and Filipino culture episode, you would know that we're not really allowed to do that.
Yeah, even though I probably still will.
You could be like one of those people that get secret tattoos that are hidden.
Dude, my cousin, he got a wave tattoo on his rib. And then one day he just decided to go into the kitchen while we were over, shirtless, and go, "Hey mom, you like the beach?" And then he shows her the wave.
Oh my god, that's so bold.
I know. And then his brother, he had a tattoo, and he got it done in like chunks, because it's a pretty big tattoo on his forearm, and it's of Saint Michael the Archangel. And so it was only half of it. And he shows his mom, and his mom goes, "Ew, is that dirt?" And he goes, "Are you calling a religious figure dirt?" And she immediately took it back.
Oh my god.
Yeah, maybe I should do that.
I don't know. Your mother's personality, I think.
Yeah, no, that would not.
Publicly disown you.
She would.
On Facebook.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. My mom's
Okay,
Facebook.
We've clearly reached the end of this episode.
Yeah, clearly. We're talking about my mom's Facebook posts.
I can't stop laughing.
Oh my gosh. What year is it at this point?
Okay, well, we hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you for tuning in or watching if you're part of the YouTube gang.
YouTube gang.
Leave a comment down below about your experiences regarding hood Asians versus Fobs, or Fobs versus first gen, that type of cultural divide. And I don't know, maybe leave your experiences regarding kids at your school, people in your life that are racist to certain cultures, but then they also want to look like that culture.
Period. If you want to find out more about us, check out the card link in our Instagram bio. It contains links to our streaming platforms such as Spotify, Anchor, Podbean, and more. Follow us for more behind-the-scenes content, announcements, and other random things we decide to put on there.
Okay, thank you. See you next time.
Bye. Oh my god.